taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
Now, next week, obviously, we have some more boxing. February has been kind of with some of these fights, but this particular fight is just like, I mean, it has attention for all the wrong reasons. Both on a domestic level, the UK level, and also on the world level. Of course, I'm talking about
barely the world level.
Yeah. Of course, I'm talking about Kell Brook versus Amir Khan. Now, keep in mind, these two have been, I think, go back to 2011, 2012 with 20.
Okay, the damn Brits barely care about this fight.
Yeah, but the funny thing is that the shit is sold out, which is wild.
Yeah, I mean, we knew it would sell out. I mean, Roy Jones Tyson would sell out, like.
Right. But in this particular case, you have to realize, I mean, it's not like, they're like, oh yeah, we're going to, let's fight. No, they've been circling around each other for almost a decade. Yeah,
this fight was always going to sell out. It's just too bad we couldn't get it when it mattered.
Yeah, not only when it mattered, but when both of them were physically in their primes.
Even if they would have been a little past it, it would at least mattered a little bit. Like if Canelo would have just fought Golovkin off rip, instead of going UK career mode after he fought Cotto, then maybe Khan and Brook careers would be different now, because you go back to history, Canelo had an impressive 3-fight win streak over Amir Khan, Leo Beefy Smith, and Chavez Jr. Damn, his name getting brought up a lot tonight.
Yeah, I know, right? Shit.
So, now I'm not going to go off too far on this, but anybody listen to this, whenever somebody says, man, Canelo ducked Andre, Canelo ducked the Charlos, they're referring to that 3-fight period when he could have fought those guys.
For sure. So
just remember that. So that's 3 fights. Like, so Khan fights Canelo because he fucked up his own career and never took the big fight, took certain fights when he was supposed to in order to get Floyd or Pacquiao.
Oh yeah, and this is probably the most infamous part of Khan's career. Like Khan's career, and the funny thing is too, he was always, he was always a candidate for Floyd, but Floyd always tell him like, yo, you gotta get this fight, you gotta win this fight in order to do it. But every single time that he was supposed to take these type of fights, he would lose. And
it was a pattern. It was a noticeable pattern, but people don't look at it like that. Like, we're real fucking boxing fans. We seen this shit in real time. Like, a lot of people, they look back at it like, after the fact. Like, nah.
Yeah, exactly. I think probably the best example of this was back in 2013. Basically he had got a title shot against Devin Alexander, who was then the IBF welterweight champion of the world.
After beating Randall Bailey.
Yes, sir. And pretty much Floyd and team told him like, "Yo, take this fight, beat Devin, and you got a title, and you got a shot, and you got a fight."
Now remember, Floyd always been high on Devin Alexander, and Devin Alexander was, he was a great fighter at that time. He was real good.
Yeah, absolutely. And for whatever reason, Khan did not take that fight. Instead, a young kid by the name of Sean Porter took the fight, beat Devin, took the belt, and then and it launched his career. To a different heights. And then Khan was just left out here, and twiddling his thumbs and shit. Finding nonsense fight.
And then in the fights where he's supposed to be the clear winner and clear favorite, he's getting dropped and bounced around and going life and death. Julio Diaz.
Yeah, Julio Diaz. Yeah, that was another fight. Yeah, that fight should He came very, very close to losing.
And that was a 7 rounds to 5 round type of fight where the knockdown is like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, Khan nearly lost that fight. But then he beats Devin like so wide, it's so ridiculous, and it's like, why couldn't he do this when it mattered? And then, like you mentioned before, the Chris Algieri fight. That was the fight that was supposed to be a gimme. He ended up getting his ass rocked by
Damn, it's like every other fight. It's like he looked good one fight, he struggled next. It's like it's hard to fucking set up a damn major, like a big pay-per-view event when you got an opponent like that. Right.
And then what pretty much did him in and what put him in this kind of semi-retired state was, and this is where you say that he's a casualty of war, you know, where he gets what he wants is a big pay-per-view fight with Saul Canelo Alvarez for his middleweight belt, you know, and to his credit, he was actually giving it to Canelo in that fight.
I mean, he was boxing the shit out of him, but Canelo was setting him up, so it was kind of like a smoke and mirror session, like
right.
To lose rounds just knowing you're gonna damn knock somebody the fuck out.
Yeah, and that's what Canelo dropped the bomb in round 6, and after that, Khan has just been, he has his gimmies and he's looked mid. You know, Samuel Vargas fight looked mid.
Almost got knocked out in that Samuel Vargas fight.
Yeah, and then the Crawford one, yeah, he looks super mid. You know, he looked finished actually. And then if you're like me, who actually was a glutton for punishment, you actually saw the Billy Dib fight, and you know, and it was like, yeah, you just beat up a bloated featherweight, yeah. So yeah, so now and that was 2.5 years ago. That was his last fight. So now we get this.
And that was the Khan side of things. Meanwhile, Brook getting his face broken by Golovkin, who, you know, couldn't get a fight with Canelo because he was busy fighting Khan.
Yeah.
So you see how two middleweights ruined a great welterweight fight.
Yeah, you know, and Brook was really, and now, you know, I used to say, like, when Brook beat Porter. Like, I mean, Brook, he was in a spot where he should have gotten Floyd's last fight on this Showtime contract. You know, I would say like that should have Floyd versus Brook should have been an undisputed welterweight title fight. Should have been. You know, he was there. He was ripe. He was not politically. He wasn't bound by any type of politics. But, you know, he was there, and you know. But unfortunately, because of that, Brook had to fight some challengers that were never really on his level. And then, unfortunately, he gets the Golovkin fight. And then, you know, while Brook is a good puncher at welterweight, he learned what the level was facing an elite puncher. You know, and then Triple G in rage nearly broke his face, almost blinding him permanently in one eye. Even though people like to say, Brook, you know, it was outboxing Triple G, nah, that type of shit. Not really.
Just because he landed some uppercuts and some flashy combos, like knowing damn well if you ever trained in a boxing gym before, you have seen fucking lightweights and welterweights put hands on middleweights before. Like,
right.
It happens. It's not some fucking like. It isn't some type of unknown, unseen marvel. It's not a unicorn with. It's not a unicorn Pegasus or some shit.
Right, but like I said, I mean, Brook paid the price because I mean he was always a big welterweight, but like I said, he was not. But he was not he's not Triple G. He's not Triple G size, nor does he have his power. So, but to his credit, though, I give him motherfucker has balls of steel to boil back down to 147 to go face Spence. You know, where he gave Spence a good amount of trouble before. Again, Spence manages to break his other side of his face, and he loses. Like, I mean, it's very rare that you see fighters get both their orbitals cracked back to back. It's not a common thing.
Oh, like opposite sides.
On opposite sides too. Yeah, that's not.
Well, I mean, he fought pretty much the southpaw and conventional versions of the same guy.
Right.
There's just two different sizes. It's like, wow. Like, imagine like losing a fight to somebody's big brother and then losing a fight to the little brother. Like, That's how that shit felt.
Yeah, no, but ever since then, but then that was just. But then after that, Brook, had to go through surgery again, and Brook had some comeback fights. A couple of them were, they were cool, and then one he looked kind of mid, and then he got the Crawford fight, and then Crawford pretty much, and he was winning that fight too on the cards.
He was, and then Crawford pulled out like some secret SNK boss punch and turned that shit right the fuck around.
Yeah, like, had him done like instantly. Like he gave it looked fast, but even Brook was like, "God damn, I never got hit like that before." Like shit, I didn't see that shit coming.
Crawford, it reminds me of this damn. Have you ever seen the show Super Crooks on Netflix?
I have not. I've heard of it.
Oh my god, yo, you have to see that shit. What the fuck? Damn, I never told you about that shit.
Nah, you never. I've heard of it, but I never heard you talk about it.
Fuck, okay, I'm slipping. I was supposed to have been to. Well, basically, there was this one guy who had a power. I forgot his fucking name. Well, his power is that he has like 250 powers, and they're random. So like when he's about to fight you, like he don't know what's gonna come until it just comes. Like he has like a deck of cards.
Oh shit.
And so that's how I feel like Crawford be like when he be stopping dudes. Like you don't know what knockout's gonna come, if it's the left, it's southpaw, uppercut, right hook. It's just, it's coming. Like
right.
And it's like Brook, for as good as Brook looked, it's like he still got caught with some shit that is like he couldn't do nothing about. And so I guess that brings us to these dudes finally fighting. And unfortunately, we couldn't get Hatton and Junior Witter on the co-main, but
right.
I feel like we could have got that. I mean, damn.
Yeah, and it's like this whole. And like I said, the fight, it's going to be airing on ESPN Plus, and pretty much, it is too little too late, but it's going to be like more or less, the more or less the winner will probably get maybe one final grasp at trying to becoming a champion or whatever, and then the loser should probably retire. And I just saw a clip of their face-off. I don't know if it's happened already, because I don't think I've seen it yet, but they had it on a tweet. And I'm looking at Brook, and Brook's eyes, one of his eyes is a little droopy now. Like, you can tell. Like, the fights have really, those injuries have clearly started to take hold on him. Like, one of them looks like his eyes, like, almost like squinting, droopy-ish and shit like that. It's weird.
And like, he's ripped, but it's just like he looks physically in shape, but I think his punch resistance is going to be so horrible. I think Khan might be able to just win with one of those little speedy combos and might blitz him or something.
As much as I can't refute that. Khan's chin, however, is bad.
Oh my god, that's what makes it so bad. It's like both their chins and durability is like in the negatives now. Like.
Right.
It's like who's gonna land first. It almost that's what it really feels. Who's gonna land first? And it's like damn. Like do you think Khan, the guy who's known for landing first with his little speedy combos and shit, like you have a better chance of landing first, or Brook, who he's not a speeder, like he's not a speedster with the combos, but he got quick hands because he don't sit on his shots a lot, so he'll run them off, and they quick. I don't know. They're about the same in power when you think about it, and when you look at it. So
yeah, but in this case too, like this fight is also I think a 149 catch weight, so I'll say a heavier advantage will probably go to Brook on this one. Like Brook, I'll probably, in my case, I'll probably just pick Brook by KO because I think he will catch. I think Khan is punching is like nothing. If Khan plays the role of an outfighter and just runs around the ring, and throws those speedy combinations, like I said, but I just think Khan will catch him with something that will take him right out of there. And I'm thinking maybe I'm thinking maybe 6 rounds. I'll give Khan 6 rounds before Brook puts him out of there.
Damn, so you think Brook gets him out in 6 rounds?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, you think Khan lasts 6 rounds?
I mean, like I said, Khan has done some things I didn't expect him to do. Like, he lasted 12 rounds with Marcus Maidana in his prime, so...
Yeah, I mean, Khan was in his prime, too, and that's Maidana.
That's also true.
And he was with his best trainer to me, like...
He was. But yeah, to me, at least for Brook at least has tried to be active against actual competition, whereas Khan has been on some bullshit.
Yeah. I think I lean toward Brook too. Now, I think you sold me with the catch weight.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like I wouldn't be surprised if either guy wins. But this fight's one of those what could have been.
Right, like this could have been something, like I said, back in 2013, 2014, when Brook was a welterweight champion, something of that nature, but like I said, they spent too much time bullshitting and bullshitting and trying to find something. Basically, it was Fury and Joshua, or even Fury Hay. Before anything else, it was just a whole lot of bullshit, and
because each guy kept thinking it was bigger than the other, and Khan was always like A side A B, was A side A, Brook was A side B or whatever. Yeah, but Khan was always the slightly bigger name, and it's just for some reason, I guess it felt like Khan felt like he was a way bigger name. Brook thought he was a closer name, or whatever the case, but they could never get their shit together, and it's like I felt like the sport kind of took advantage of that with the whole Canelo and Golovkin situation.
Mm-hmm.
Everything fell in line to just fuck the situation. The Eubank didn't want the Golovkin fight. Now he's calling out Golovkin. Come on, this box.
Yeah, it is box.
So it's a lot of bullshit. I'm not. I'll watch the fight. Am I hyped for it? No. Do I really care the outcome? No.
Yeah, but watch this fight somehow be like a low key fight of the year. That's how it always ends up. Because sometimes fighters,
it'll be a shootout or some shit. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and then you see these cats go through a whole bunch of drama and shit like that. So
I don't think it's durable enough to have a real shootout like that, though.
Yeah, true.
I think the shootout could end up like damn. What's that? Seshu Pal and K9?
Yeah,
what's that double knockdown?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know that's a random fucking fight. You talking to the kings of the random fights.
Exactly. So
I can see a double knockout happening. They need to have a special prop bet for that.
Facts.
But I agree. I probably Kell Brook the 3rd round,
Yeah, and like I said, I can see that too. That's honestly, if it goes past, if this fight goes past maybe 7 or 8 rounds, then I'm gonna be thinking either these two really hate each other, or they were straight lunching the whole fight and just not, just going through the motions and not really trying to hurt each other. But like I said, in any other period, 5 years ago, this fight, this would be a really good fight. Now that we just told you pretty much their circumstances, we just know that it's a cash out fight, especially for the loser, because the loser is gonna be pretty much finished.
Yeah, they're both finished now. This was always the last fight, and honestly, I think it worked. It kind of worked against them in a little bit, because imagine if we got this fight 3-4 years ago. If neither guy took the whooping from Crawford, which I undoubtedly I believe took more off of their careers than it should have than necessary.
Right.
Because those extra KOs, okay. We got Khan, Canelo, and the Vargas, tough fights. Brook had Golovkin and Kell and Spence. y'all was ripe for the fight then, really.
Right.
And y'all even more diminished now. But all supposed to end well. We'll see. I just hope no one gets no brain bleed or no permanent fuck up shit or nothing crazy happens. I just hope everybody just, in the name of Allah, just, make it home.
Exactly.
And just keep it going, But this is just a message, this is a warning, y'all gotta stop trying to set up your fucking final fights and shit. Live your career. Make the fights when they matter happen when they supposed to.
Right.
What kind of shit is this? Y'all literally use this fight as a retirement fight. There ain't no such thing as a fucking retirement fight, because this is boxing. Nigga, your next fight could be your retirement fight.
Exactly.
Shit. So, so make that shit happen when it's supposed to happen. Unless, you want to bank on being such a novelty act that you'll sell out arenas like Khan and Brook, but that's not everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, you got more else to say, or we can go to the next shit?
No, I don't have anything more to say. Other than, like I said, just like I said. I mean, it most likely it will be the fight. It might be the fight of the weekend. For all the wrong reasons. That's all I can say.
This weekend, this was Saturday? Matt, the Zone?
Oh no, ESPN Plus.
ESPN Plus. Damn, what time? This afternoon?
It's UK, so it's always going to be afternoon. I don't know what time.
Okay.
It's definitely an afternoon card.
All right, I'll see what I'm doing.
Right. I mean.